Yo, so this is going to be a video of me editing the logos of the social media accounts. So go ahead and take a look. So I'm on Procreate right now. Hopefully this will focus well. Feels kind of hazy, my bad. I'm trying to hold this up. I'll get better at these videos. Let's see. Yeah, anyway, so I'm on Procreate. I got these little dots on the corners. I'm putting this button in the corner here. Will allow me to edit these little dots. So I'm on freeform. So what I'm doing is I'm putting these little things to the side. By the way, guys, it's a Magic Keyboard that I attached to my iPad. You know, all I need in life is an iPad and this Magic Keyboard, bro. That's all I really need. It's actually like my dream to just have, you know, just all my money, businesses, just all just run from this. But anyways, yeah, so I'm creating these little slants. I already made one for Instagram a little while ago. Let's see here. There we go. So I'm gonna try to see if I can line this up to look just like this one. Now, I'm gonna use this uniform button so that way it moves everything all at one time. Boop. Okay, and the good thing about Procreate is it always lines these up. I don't know if you guys can see these little lines that come out. Helps you line them up. So I'm gonna try to make them as lined up as possible. Yeah, it seems a little off, so I'm gonna freeform it again a little bit. Boom, boom. That's so nice that it does that. So now I'm just gonna see if it lines up here. Try to get it the same size. The lines aren't coming. The lines aren't appearing when I'm putting the, you know, the shape next to it. It's not, the top and the bottom aren't lining up, which means that more work must be done. So I'm gonna put this here, put this down here. Good. That means it's horizontal. That means this is horizontal. Now I gotta figure out. I just gotta line these up. So, boop. I mean, it seems close enough. I'm gonna line it up on top of this because I want to make sure they're the same size. So it says locked in. Why does it say locked to direction? Don't know what that means. Seems pretty lined up. It seems a little small. Bro, what the fuck? What are you doing? So, blink. So I put it on top so that way I can try to extend it. I'm gonna use freeform so that way I can line it up more directly. Boop. If I really wanted to be super specific, I could use the opacity. I'll show you guys how to do it just real quick. So so what you do is you go over here and then you click 2 fingers on this and then it'll show up the opacity bar. You can slide it so that way you can see through. It'd make more sense if I did it this way. So this, you can see how it's kind of changing. So yeah, it would be a good way to line it up if you need help with that. But as of right now, it doesn't seem too hard to line it up, so I'm not really tweaking. It's pretty close already. I guess I'm a perfectionist, so I just want to make sure the lines are directly lined up. Think, bow, oh, extend a little bow. Oh, there we go. All right, now they are the exact same shape, so all I gotta do is just move it over. Boom. And just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a couple of these for the rest of the social media logos, and then yeah, and then we'll move on to the next step. I also just realized I should probably show you guys how to add another file. I really don't know why it's so fuzzy. Like, I don't know if my camera is just all like fingerprints on it or something. Anyways, we'll figure that out. But you hit this little button in the corner. Let's see here, bank, and then you hit insert a photo, which will go to your photo library, and then yeah, so I'm gonna click. Probably we're gonna click one next. Bank. All right, there, and then you proceed to the next step. For this one, I realize I'm gonna have to do a little extra step just because it's wider. So what I'm gonna want to do is chop off both of these sides to make it more, make the logo more in the center. So what I'm gonna do is, see if I can remember how to do this, but I'm gonna create a shape. You can create these little shapes by hitting this button up here, the little squiggle line. And so when I hit that, it'll allow me to, you know, make little shapes. From the shapes, I can, you know, either select things or deselect things. So I'll show you. So this right here, this rectangle, so I can get straight lines. I'm gonna put one here. I'm gonna try to make it somewhat even. It's not gonna be perfect, but actually, yeah. So what I'll do is I'll go here. Seems pretty even enough. And then I'm going to use my fingers. I'm gonna swipe down. All right, and that's gonna give me the options to cut, paste, or whatever. So I think the right thing to hit is cut. Nope, so it's the opposite. So so that means I gotta do the inverse. So I gotta cut everything else around it. So, and I messed up here. I hit the button at the wrong time. No big deal. I hit the back button, and where there's no back button, you hit 2 fingers to go back, and then 3 fingers to undo. So you can go back with 2 fingers, and then from there, I have to hit the inverse. So I'm gonna hold this so I can bring up options. So the options came up at the bottom. Now I'm gonna hit invert. You gotta love Procreate, bro. Here. So when I hit invert, now the cross hatches are now flipped. All right, so invert, now the outside. So the cross hatches means this is what's going to be saved when I hit the cut button. So 3 fingers again, scroll down, and now I'm going to hit cut. Now voila, perfecto. So now I'm going to change this into whatever. So I'm going to try it, and it might be too close, so I might have to edit it a little bit, but yeah, so pretty much that's how you do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this for the rest of them. Okay, so I did have to make the rectangle a little more rectangular, so that way the logo could be more in the center. So I'm gonna make the rectangle a little bigger, or a little more wider. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna spread it out a little more like this, like that. It's generally in the center. It's probably not perfect, but it's good enough. Then I'm gonna hit, nope, I'm gonna hit invert. Then I'm gonna hit cut. And I think that'll be good enough. All right. Another little tip I wanna show y'all is like, okay, so I noticed this K is a little too big. I want it to be the same size as everything else. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the K smaller, but keep the shape itself the same size. So what I'm gonna do is go to this, the squiggle line up here. I don't know what that line's called, so for now we're gonna call it squiggle line. And then you're gonna hit that rectangle button again. And it's a little advanced, but what we're gonna do is go here. We're gonna make a little square inside, get rid of the K. We're gonna extract the K out, boom. We're gonna hit the inverse button, and then what we're gonna do. Oh, so now what we do is we got the K selected, but we want to move the K out of here. So we're going to use the arrow button. And now, because it's selected, we can move the K out. But, gotta hit the inverse. So we're going to go back here. We're going to hold it. So that way it changes at the bottom. We're going to hit invert. And then we're going to hit this again. Boop. And now we can move the K out of here. Now you might think, oh no, what are we gonna do with the K? Now this is a little cool option here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna hit, we're gonna fill this area with color. So in order to do that, we're gonna hit this button here. This is our dropper tool, or basically our color selector, which is kind of cool. So we're gonna, you know, whatever color I put this on, it's gonna, you know, change the color of the marker, which is up here. All right, so we're gonna hit this little button. Now it's black. So cool thing is we can fill this with this. Boom, right there, easy. Now it's filled, now it's all black. So now we're gonna take this K, which the K is now in its own layer. Fuck, should have made it its own layer, it didn't. But I don't need to, I'm lazy. So we're gonna hit this button here. We're gonna select it again. We're just gonna use the rectangle again. We're gonna select it. Boom. Inverse. We're going to hit duplicate. We're gonna hit not duplicate. Fucking invert. And then we're gonna hit this again. Nope. Wrong one. Actually, don't hit invert. We're gonna hit. Go back up here. Squiggle line options. Invert again. Now we're gonna hit this. Okay, now this is selected. So now we can do whatever we want with this. So with this, like I said, I want to make this more this size here, and I want the K to just be like more square. You know, it's a little too rectangle. So we're gonna hit the freeform button down here. We're gonna move this up. So now it's more of a K. You know. So now we can move this around. It's about the same size, so we're just gonna move it to the center here. Make sure it's kind of relatively. See the line popping up? That means it's the same angle here. Bow. Look at that. And to deselect it, hit that, and boom. Now it's all same level size, and that's it. Okay, and then the next thing we're gonna add is the blocks. So the blocks are where we're gonna put the actual words in. So start off like this. And then what we're gonna do is pretty much the same thing. We're gonna line this up here. We're gonna move the opacity so it's gonna be easier to line it up. As so. And then we're gonna take this, the selection, we're gonna line it up. So this part's pretty easy, right? Just line it up for this piece here. I'm gonna use the keyboard to help me line it up exactly. Big. Yeah, it takes a little finesse. Takes some doctors, calm, steady surgical hands to make sure everything is right. Cause you gotta like select it in a certain way to make it move how you want it to move. Here we go. All right, so now it's good. And then we're gonna, move the opacity back. Boop. All right. Oh yeah, so the top of it's kind of like iffy, so we gotta like move that. But fuck it, yeah, we'll do it right now. Essentially, you gotta take this, take the rectangle. We're gonna do that selection thing I was telling you about. Cause there's like a little white line here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a very faint white line on top of the gray, and I don't want that there at all. So we're gonna we're gonna chop it off. Invert at the bottom here. Cut. Nope. Damn, bro, I gotta get the invert right. Hold this at the top. Invert again, so that way it selects the other part. Boom. So that part's chopped off. And line it up. Line it up. There we go. Gotta do the same for the bottom, I think. So we're gonna take the square. Line it up at the bottom. Cut off the little line at the bottom that nobody can see but me. Cut. Alright, yeah, gotta cut off a little more. I can see that in the corner there. You see that? I don't know if y'all see it, but cut it off. There we go. Cut. Alright, now no more strange lines. So you're gonna line this up. Boop. Boop. God, those little guidelines that pop up are so useful. Whoever came up with that deserves a Nobel Prize. Procreate team, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with it. Right, boom. Close enough. All right, but now we've got to extend it to make it longer. So that'll be pretty easy. We just gotta take this little dot here, pull it across, because we're in freeform down here. Pull it across. Yeah, and then obviously when we extend it, we're gonna have to line this up again. Isn't that hard? Boop. Then we'll move it over to the side here. pretty much that's it. So I'm gonna create a line of each of these, so that way they all have space for words to be put in there. So yeah, I'm gonna arrange it and then we'll do the next step. All right, now a few hours later, well, a lot of hours later actually, because I work overnight, so I was doing some of the work earlier and then I fell asleep, and now it's like 7 p.m. at night and I'm finishing up the logo. And yeah, I just kind of want to walk you through what I've done so far. All right, so here we pretty much got it set up here, but I just wanted to show you guys how to do the lettering on this. So what you do is you go to add, I don't know if you can see this here, you hit this little wrench, then you hit add text, and then it gives you the little option. I'm not sure why it's doing that. That's weird. There we go. And then yeah, usually it shows up black, but I changed the color earlier. I don't know how to I don't really know how to fully change the color back, but I'll show you how I've been doing it so far. So anyways, you type whatever you need to type. This is my name, you know what I'm saying? And then yeah, and then afterwards you can hit this button here and you kind of treat it just like you would anything else. You know, you got your uniform, you got your free form, and yeah, so that's pretty much what I did. I shrunk it down, I brought it into the corner there, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. What I do to change the color, I know I'm doing this wrong, and I know that I knew it before, but I completely forgot. But what I've been doing to change the color is I go to this thing here, and just go black. Alright, and then remember the color drop thing I told you guys about? So you can do that with the lettering. Why did I do that? So I'm hitting, what? Oh, it's because okay, gotcha. Cool, so now I'm carrying this around. You can drop it inside of the letters. And that's how I've been changing the color. So it usually shows up black, but then I filled it all white. I know there's another way to do it, I forgot, but that's a good little cheat code of how to do that. And yeah, so now that I have this all figured out, then the last thing I have to do is, let me go back. So the last thing I have to do is just make everything see-through. And it's actually pretty easy on Procreate, thank God. And what you do is you hit this. It's got all these layers right here. Background color. Literally all you have to do is just check this button. And boom, now it's see-through just like that. On other programs, it takes like a lot of buttons to press, but that's why I love Procreate. I think I'm pretty much done now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit this button here, and then I'm gonna hit share, and then I'm gonna hit I don't know which one I have to use. For now, I'm gonna hit PNG. It's usually what I use. And then save image. Boop. And voila, you're all set. Just in case, I'm going to do other files here. JPEG. Alright, and then lastly, one thing that's cool about Procreate I like to do is you can go up here and then you say video and it'll show you a time lapse of everything you just did. So check this out. So this way you guys can see everything. This is a 30-second one. Oh no, it's not a 30-second one. But if it takes a long time, you can shrink it down to a certain amount of seconds. And there you go. That's how you do it. So the last step I have to do is I have to take the logos and I have to put it onto my Gmail. And then once I put it on my Gmail, I can send it to my computer and I can put it into OBS Studios, which is what I use to stream my content. And then, yeah, so I'll show you how to do that.